We're heading back to the Blue Bungalow today, probably to deal with the bedroom. But first I want to make some changes to the kitchen. Okay, so we're here in the kitchen and I've also gotten comments. None of us are feeling it with this whole floor situation. And so I want to kind of make some changes here. I think I have to actually just repurchase some surface finishes, and I yeah, I'm going back and forth on this. One of the suggestions was to continue with the checkerboard tile, but perhaps change the colors, maybe something matching what we have in on the walls. I think it was the rich blue, and then maybe like a black. Nope, this would be the part that's black. That might be a bit dramatic and maybe a little too much. What do we think? Let's see. Let's put that down. I think that might be too much. I kind of like it. Don't get me wrong. It's kind of cool. But I think it's too much of the blue. Another option would be to do two different shades, like a black and a gray. I kind of like that, but I'm thinking more black on black with perhaps a gray grout in the middle. I think we might have the winner. I am liking the way that looks already. It is very dark for such a small kitchen, but I really think this looks so much better. And I personally like to play a bit with dark colors in small spaces, and I think the yellow kind of brightens things up a bit in here. I do think maybe some under cabinet lighting would help a bit there. Is that even an option? Okay, we do have these LED lights. Unfortunately, I don't like the way that looks because of the fact that you can see it, and I can't really get it. Maybe if I crouch? Now, I'm just not loving that. I think it was the solution, but I need to figure out how to get it in a way that I can make use of it. Possibly like ceiling lamps if we could get them twisted up underneath the cabinet, but I just, yeah. It's unfortunate because I think we could really use some under cabinet lighting. We do have something over here with the little lamp, but it's not quite what I'm talking about. But with that, we're going to move on to the next room. This room, obviously, we have pretty much settled on keeping the furniture, although I might recover it in kind of a deeper green or a different kind of fabric of some sort. I moved that painting from the bedroom into here. I felt like it worked out well there, but today I want to focus on the bedroom. This is the room that I have been wanting to get a hold of for a while. I do love kitchens. It's one of my favorite rooms to make over, but bedrooms are also nice. And I feel like I want to do a wallpaper, and I want to keep it kind of classic, but a little fun. Whoever lives here is clearly not afraid of color and dark patterns. I don't know if we're in a zebra kind of mood, but I think we'll find something. This flower stamp design is actually kind of cool. Let's see if we make it larger so it's not quite so dense. And then I think I want to do, we got like a rich red. I don't want to go purple. I did purple in the last room. We did try to do the red in the kitchen, but maybe this is the place for it. And do we want to go like a coordinating, maybe a rich orange color? Something that almost to make it look like gold is kind of my intention here. So let's see how that looks. Now, this is going to be a lot, no matter which way we try to look at it. This is definitely a very bold kind of look, but I'm thinking of just doing this on the wall behind the bed and then continuing just the red through the rest. Although I feel like maybe it's not as incredibly bold as I thought, but I still think it's going to be best if we just do the red for the rest. Okay, this is supposed to be the same color in paint. So let's take a look at that and see how it looks. I keep doing that. I like that. It does kind of blend in with the doors, which is not necessarily a great thing, but I can live with it. There is a redness to the doors, obviously, and I'm hoping that this kind of accents that. I like to go dark in bedrooms. It makes them feel cozier, cave-like for sleeping. I know not everybody likes that particular thing. This is basically the color we are going for in our son's bedroom. He likes darker colors, blacks and grays, and particularly a dark red. And this color would be perfect for his room. Okay, and I'm going to do the paint here in the areas around the window. I debated whether I wanted to do the wallpaper, but I think it'll just look better if we do just the paint. Now the tricky part is picking out the furniture. I definitely want something kind of classic looking. That seems to be the way we're going through most of this house, kind of the look I'm working for. I do like both the kind of padded bed. This one is pretty nice. I do seem to be really drawn to the Valenti line of stuff. It probably is pretty similar to my own style in a lot of ways. I do like the classic. Again, it's a Valenti. This is probably the route I'm thinking. Now, the difficult part for me is deciding what we want to do for wood. Now, the temptation is to go with the dark beach, kind of blend it all in again, but I also would like to kind of have it stand out from the rest of the room a little. It has been pretty matchy-matchy. This yellow wood actually kind of coordinates with the yellow on the walls, although I was thinking of using more of a gold yellow bedding, so I don't know that that's the route I want to take. We could brighten things up with a bit of European ash or American ash, just to kind of add a little contrast to all the dark in here. The American walnut has some great texture in it, but I feel like that's too rustic for this room. The Brazilian walnut, we would get some texture and a little contrast. There's a little bit of redness to the wood as well, so I think that might work. I think I want to switch to a poplin for the duvet. And then we want to go into that rich colors again and try to find a yellow, perhaps that works. Yeah, that looks more brown. This is the yellow that we used in the walls, but I feel like it isn't really giving me gold. I don't know if I want to do the rich red. Maybe we work on a pattern of some sort. We could even potentially mimic the pattern that's on the walls. And yeah, we have the pattern. We could potentially do the pattern in like reverse. So perhaps do the warm, rich yellow on one part. And I always struggle with this. When you switch over, you have to like work on, okay, I think, yeah, the rich orange or the rich yellow. I think the rich yellow, but we want that to be the main part. So we want to make these the rich red. That doesn't look like the same color though. Pillows we could do in the rich red. Let's see how we feel about that. It's very monotone feeling, but also I'm almost okay with it. I do need to change the mattress though. We need that to match the sheets, I think, the pillowcases. Kind of create that look. It's not the worst thing I've done. Probably the best shot I have of coordinating it to the walls and giving us some pattern. My sense of style, I swear, just goes out the window when I start decorating. Okay, we need small tables. Probably, let's see, this is a Segovia bed. So do we happen to have any matching tables for it? Otherwise, we could have a little fun. I do kind of like the console tables, but they don't really look like side tables to me. And that's a children's table. Uh, we don't really want to go full-on console table. The accent table feels too bulky. I almost feel like I'm missing tables. It's not ideal, but I think these tables probably best suit the furniture, and we just need to, I think, change them over to the same style as the bed. Yeah, I think the lines are similar, so it's not too bad. We need some kind of table lamps. This is where I struggle a bit, because I feel like the choices are not necessarily what I would like. This feels almost too modern, clean line for the look we're going for. This one isn't horrible. We could do a rich yellow shade, and then perhaps might be a bit too on the nose there. Maybe go to the dark beach for the wall or for the base of it. That is massive, especially since they say it's a desk lamp. That is a huge desk lamp for a huge desk. There's no way that's going to work. I don't really... Maybe these? I think I'll go with a gold base on that one. And go to the rich warm yellow. Oh, I don't know if I like that with the gold base, though. Maybe we want an iron base. I think that would give us some contrast. Kind of switch it down to a yellower light and not super bright. All of these feel so huge on these side tables. But I think that's not the worst. The black kind of draws in the black of all of our various fixtures and everything. The gold goes with the bedding, and it's in front of the windows there, which, yeah, various thoughts on that. Trying to make this space work while also maintaining some level of, not making it not feel strange, kind of been a little difficult at times. All right, I definitely want to get a custom picture of some sort in here. Some kind of landscape would be probably ideal. This is more of a living, dining kind of picture to me. These are fine, but the stumps are kind of weird. The clover's cute, but I'm leaning more toward this. I almost feel like it fits nicely. Maybe this. I think that's the same picture that I have in the living room. Hang on a second. I need to check that out. Yeah, that is the same picture in the living room. Okay. Well, that actually does put us kind of on track for kind of the direction we want to go here. So if that, we could... This almost feels like it would better fit. I want to see... Yeah, it's a custom frame, but can I size that? Because that feels way too large. Maybe we'll go more this style. And then we'll just shrink it down. Now, if I copy this style from out here, does it copy the entire picture or just the frame? It does the whole thing. Okay, I wanted just the frame, so we'll have to change the picture that's on here. But otherwise, I think we're good. We actually have more pictures further down that I missed. Oh, I kind of like that one. Okay. except that now it made it a different size. I don't love pictures over, it's hard to get a proper arrangement there, but it's not the worst. It is the worst, but we'll get over it. Okay, as far as dresser, I still kind of love the name of this brand or whatever. Anyway, but these are more sideboards than dressers. Okay, this is the dresser that goes with this, I think. Okay, this is the dresser that is supposed to match that. I want to see how it fits in here. Now this falls under medium storage. I want to see if they actually have a large or tall of the Segovia. It looks like we're looking at more like wall units and not actual dressers. Oh, small storage. So there are nightstands, they're just considered small storage. Okay, we're going to swap these out for sure. Okay, those definitely look a lot more in proportion with what we're looking for. And I'm going to turn the lights on just so we can get the full effect. I think with the lights on, it definitely feels a lot cozier and warmer. The golds are really looking gold. Now we could probably use a little something over here. I'm thinking some kind of mirror overhead. Okay, so a couple of little lamps, kind of similar, as close as I could get. They are a little less, or they're a little more boxy than the other, but just to kind of give us a little light here. I think I need to find the right placement of them, though. Probably right around there. And I can't quite get them. There we go. That's mostly correct. So it kind of gives us a little light over there. And then I think we just want to focus on a few decorations, things that would go on the top. Probably some kind of tray for their things and, you know, a few little, just tiny little decorations. All right, this room is very red and gold all around. Very matchy-matchy. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I do like that the curtains turned out kind of nice, and it brings some of that pattern over there. We did get a little laundry basket over here. We kind of set up the dresser with a few things, and yeah, I don't hate it. I just don't love it. I'm trying to explore things that I wouldn't normally do in my real life. And so with that comes this tendency to not really feel confident in very much of it. And it makes me question my sense of taste because I have kind of a very clear set of things that I like the looks of, and I'm going outside of that, and I'm not sure that experiment is working so well for me. But I would love to know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day, and keep on being perfectly you.